What's up, fellow freelancers? Coming at you again with another Anthem video. Today we're going to talk about friendly factions. Welcome to the road to Anthem. Alright, friendly factions. While not technically a faction, I do want to start with the Shapers, because they have a huge role in this game. The Shapers, otherwise known as gods by the inhabitants of the world, they are the creators. It is said that the Shapers set out to create the world in 9 days. To do this, they utilized devices that access the Anthem of creation to create the world. However, they vanished on the 3rd day, mysteriously, leaving all of their devices and goodies behind. Supposedly, something went wrong on that day, hence their departure. This is, of course, unknown at this point. These devices can be found scattered across the world. However, other beliefs exist concerning the world and its origins. What happened was so long ago that it's pretty much passed out of memory into legend. Unchecked, these Shaper devices can be devastating. They are far from dormant and activate or deactivate randomly, causing cataclysmic changes to the world and creating a hostile environment that makes daily life a constant struggle. How these devices work is unknown to us humans, but they can do things beyond mortal understanding. The creation of forests, the gushing of water, the relics have done all of this and more. However, they have caused the mutation of various animals as well, which has pushed humanity to the brink. The Shaper technology also technically caused the Javelins, as their technology was reverse engineered to figure out how to make them, which allowed humanity to survive the perils of the world created by the Shaper tech in the first place. So that's an interesting little time twist. We do know that the Shapers have a mysterious connection with the Scars, one of the game's enemy factions, though what that connection is unknown. When asked about the Shapers, Mike Gamble stated that they aren't necessarily a precursor race in the vein of other precursors BioWare has created in the past. He reiterated that the writers knew the origins and the history of the Shapers, but that uncovering them would be an integral part of the game's main narrative. Alright, getting into actual main factions, you have the Arcanists. They're scientist mystics who have dedicated themselves to researching the mysteries of the world. The Arcanists research both the natural frontier as well as the technological. Their ultimate goal is to gather, categorize, and preserve the complete knowledge of humanity. Their tireless promotion of knowledge and teaching has been directly or indirectly responsible for much of the technological advancement of our current world. They see the gathering and preserving of information as their spiritual and moral duty. Arcanists can be found on every level of society, from giving basic instructions to researching Shaper relics in the wild to the Anthem of creation itself. There are various Arcanist academies depending on their field of study. The Arcanists are the ones who handcraft the Javelin exosuits utilized by us, the Freelancers, and others. Notably, they were also the ones who reverse engineered the Storm Javelins for the Freelancers' use. They are also known as a researcher monks, basically, that are found in Fort Tarsis as well as Bastion, which is another city in the world where the Arcanists are their oldest faction. Moving on, we have Corvus, which is a shadowy organization that operates predominantly out of Fort Tarsis. They are an extensive network of intelligence agents, spies, and diplomats. Corvus's main goal is to scout out threats and remove them without direct confrontation. While they are not above having their operatives engage in targeted sabotage or an assassination now and then, they prefer to contract out any of their messier tasks to third parties, such as us, the Freelancers. Corvus is responsible for creating the Interceptor Javelin, which was designed to serve as a scout. Next up, we have the Ciphers. They are humans gifted with telepathy, a byproduct of the world, presumably the Shaper technology. Maybe it hit them while they were being born, nobody really knows. They are rigorously trained in the ability to communicate mentally over long distances, performing complex analytical calculations and processing incredible amounts of information. Basically, human computers. Different schools exist for Ciphers, some being more prestigious than others. They serve in a more of a support role to the Freelancers, providing information and analysis during expeditions, while remaining in an amplified chair of some sort. Kind of reminds me of Professor X and Cerebro from X-Men, which is kind of neat and makes me geek out a little bit. Anyways, every Freelancer team is assigned at least one cipher, sometimes more, depending, and they have the ability to project trajectories for javelins, long-range weaponry, and scanning the environments for potential upcoming threats. Next up, we have the Sentinels. They are the chief upholders of the law throughout the cities and settlements of the world, including Anthem, where they serve as the city's primary defensive force. Operating from Fort Tarsus, however, they believe in justice and order above all else, and see themselves as a bulwark protecting the people from the chaos of the outside world. In the eyes of the Sentinel leadership, the Freelancers are nothing more than a ragtag outfit whose fierce independence makes them unreliable. As such, they rarely coordinate with them. Still, like the Freelancers, the Sentinels venerate Helena Tarsis. The Sentinels also have access to their own javelins, though tend to stay close to Fort Tarsis, keeping the populace safe from direct threats. The Ranger is their javelin of choice for frontline work. So basically they're the police force, security agents, however you want to look at it. And lastly, we have the Freelancers, which is what all of our player characters will be. They are a small group of individuals tasked with safeguarding humanity and exploring the perilous land beyond the walls of Fort Tarsis. Members of the Freelancers are sometimes called Lancers for short, and while not technically a military organization, they are a ragtag group that carry on the traditions of the Legion of Dawn, protecting the people of Fort Tarsis from the dangers of the outside world. They traditionally operate in squads of 4, usually one of each javelin per squad member. While the Sentinels stay close to Fort Tarsis, Freelancers are tasked with venturing beyond the fort to deal with more esoteric threats. They also highly regard Helena Tarsis. While in the field, Freelancers are supported by Ciphers, who provide them with intelligence. Every Freelancer team is given at least one cipher. The Freelancers are direct descendants of the Legion of Dawn, from whom they eventually splintered off. Using their javelins, the Freelancers are able to safeguard humanity, who built new cities and a new civilization. Currently, the Freelancers aren't as respected as they once were. For all their glories of the past, their current deeds don't give them the same level of reverence they once did. They moved against the Dominion, who was attempting to activate Shaper relics and would result in putting everyone at risk. And to make matters worse, an invasionary force known only as the Scars are also out after the Shaper technology. The Freelancers, however, are still contracted for various tasks by the multiple factions in the world and operate within Fort Tarsis, but they fiercely retain their independence. Just a small little tidbit I want to throw here on the end, since it does directly involve factions. There are other cities or kingdoms known throughout the world. There's Anthem, which is the de facto capital of the world, which the Sentinels serve as the city's main defensionary force. Other city we know of is Bastion, which is a human settlement home to the Arcanists, who are that location's oldest faction. There is also a third city that's known about currently that is to the north, although the name is unknown, and that is where the Dominion faction reside. So as you can see, there are many factions, and I'm sure there could be potentially more, either that we don't know about yet or that will be added in later. They're going to give us our missions, mainly. Our tasks, our contracts, etc. We're going to get to know a lot of them as we build relationships with certain NPCs within Fort Tarsis. And that brings me to my end today, guys. Thank you for watching. Like, definitely share, subscribe, hit that bell if you want to know when new content comes out. I release new content regularly. Definitely check out my new videos that are going to be starting this coming Monday. That's going to feature exclusive gameplay for the upcoming VIP demo, so you don't want to miss that. Again, thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I hope to see you next time on the road to Anthem.